I'm going to get in a little bit more detail about what an area structure plan is, the structure of the ASP, and then some of the policies that will impact potentially or not how you develop your land. So what is an area structure plan? The plan is a long-range planning document that will support and guide development that leverages the proximity to the Villeneuve Airport within the plan area. The ASP will provide certainty for landowners and developers regarding how the plan area can be built out, and examples regarding the types of uses that will be encouraged to locate here. Future development within the plan area will be developer or applicant-led through an outline plan process, and ultimately development won't be occurring until a landowner decides that it's time for the development to occur. We will get more into the outline plan process in a few minutes as we dig into a few more slides. So the area structure plan includes a phased planning approach. The plan area is being planned in the long term. However, 2 planning areas have been identified as priority development areas. 2 additional areas fall within the plan area, the future development areas shown in gray on the map that you see. However, significant development cannot occur in these future development areas until the ASP would be amended through County Council and the Edmonton Metropolitan Region Board. This approach will enable an efficient and logical growth pattern to occur within the plan area. So we're still in the final stages of confirming servicing and phases that could result in some potential minor changes to what you see here prior to the final draft being completed. We want to note that the phases are planned, but of course will not be developed tomorrow. It will take decades to build out some of the plan area, especially in the future development areas. The reason for preparing the ASP now is that it lets landowners know about what future development could bring. And the ASP also gives the county the opportunity to plan for future servicing and infrastructure requirements, with the ultimate goal of development bringing economic diversification and employment opportunities to the region. And again, if you have any questions along the way, I'd encourage you to drop them in the chat. Pat gave you a lot of information about airports, so if there is anything there that you have a question about, please drop it in the chat. And when we move to the Q&A, Pat can address those questions. So when we met in February, for those of you who either watched or attended the session and were able to get involved at those stages, we presented the development concept that was in the Villeneuve Airport Area Master Plan. The Villeneuve Airport Area Master Plan, or VAMP, as you may hear it referred to, us planners have a lot of acronyms, was accepted by Council in late 2021. The Master Plan is a visionary document that was used to guide the preparation of the Villeneuve Airport Area Structure Plan. And like I mentioned earlier, the ASP will lay the foundation for implementing the development concept that was laid out in the Master Plan. So if you do have questions about the master plan itself, again, drop those questions in the chat. We have several staff here who can answer the questions when we move into that Q&A. So 4 business typologies were identified in the development concept in the VAMP, and these business typologies will be encouraged to locate within the plan area. Given the proximity to the Villeneuve Airport, the plan area is well suited to include an aviation and aerospace center, leveraging the airport proximity. And these uses are envisioned to include an innovation and education hub, an industrial park, a research and development testing center, and then aerospace and space applications, as well as defense projects. An eco park is envisioned with businesses that may include a focus on clean tech applications, net zero goals, renewable energy research, and extreme weather research as well. The third business typology that was included in the development concept in the VAMP is agri-innovation. Those are uses that focus on sustainable agriculture, research into value-added agribusiness, and intelligent farming, ultimately building on a lot of the great agricultural history in Sturgeon County. With the proximity to the rail line, the air, and also the road network that Villeneuve offers with the area, air, road, and rail-enabled warehousing and logistics is envisioned in a logistics park, enabling the flow of North American goods and services. So again, shifting gears a little bit, I've gone into the background, into the VAMP. We've talked a bit about the airport proximity. We want to get into the area structure plan itself. Now, the structure of the document that you'll be seeing is in 7 sections. It starts with the introduction, some planning documents that guide development, the context of the area, the development concepts I just mentioned, the planning approach is section 6, which is our ASP policies, and then implementation. So I'm just going to take a few minutes now to get into what you'll see in each of those sections. So section 1 will include the purpose of the area structure plan and how terms in the ASP are to be interpreted by the county at the time of implementation or application. The section also includes a map showing the ASP boundary or the plan area, and section 1 concludes with the plan goals and objectives. Section 2 outlines the statutory plans and guiding planning documents that need to be referred to when the ASP is implemented, and again at the time of application. Federal regulations that would be considered include rules for developing in proximity to the Villeneuve Airport. At the provincial level, an example of documents that we'd be looking at include the Municipal Government Act. And then at the municipal level, the county's 2 higher order plans, the county's municipal development plan and the land use bylaw also will be in effect as the lands build out. Section 4 outlines the development concept that I just went through that was accepted by County Council in late 2021. We briefly touched on these 4 business typologies earlier in the presentation. Section 5 will detail the goals and objectives associated with the strategic planning approach, which I'll get into in a few slides, including the location of the planning areas and future development areas within the plan area that I shared on the phasing plan. Section 6 is the heart of the area structure plan. This is where all the policies will live that, as an outline plan comes in and that will be considered. And that speaks to the land use concept and other examples such as sand and gravel, the airport, green development, utilities and infrastructure, emergency services, the interface with the railway, and also the natural environment and historic resources. Section 7 is going to outline how the plan will be implemented by the county. Noting that existing development rights under the current land use bylaw will be permitted, and there is no changes until such time as an area structure plan is brought in, that an outline plan is brought in when a developer or a landowner is looking to develop beyond what is currently allowed. Of course, those applications would all be subject to municipal or council approval. And of course, the area structure plan will include several supporting maps and figures, looking at the plan area, the context, transportation and utilities, how the plan area will build out from a phasing perspective, again, those natural and cultural resources that are located in the plan area, and oil and gas. Okay, so that's a bit about the area structure plan itself. What I want to do now is get into development within the planning areas. So we'll start with the planning areas, which are identified on the map as 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. And ultimately, again, those outline plans, this is when the development that's coming in that is in the development concepts that you've seen, or some more significant development where an outline plan is required, those will follow the existing county outline plan process, and county council approval will be required. The outline plan will identify detailed land uses, servicing requirements, and road networks. And of course, studies and reports that support that outline plan specific to the site with more detail than we would see at the area structure plan level will also be needed, along with the planning rationale for why the plan includes the types of uses that it does, in particular in proximity to the airport. So when an outline plan comes in, administration will review the outline plan application once it's submitted by the developer, and those, again, supporting studies and additional information will be required. The outline plan will then be presented to County Council for consideration, and an approval from County Council in those planning areas 1 and 2 will be required prior to development taking place. That does offer another opportunity for the public to take a look at what's proposed. So when you're developing in the planning areas, let's say before you come in with an outline plan, or a landowner wants to come in with it before an outline plan or the more significant development, what we want to indicate again is that no changes to the existing subdivision rights under the current land use are proposed. And also, if you are a landowner within the plan area, any development permit or development that you may want to propose that's in line with the current land use bylaw and that land use you have will be allowed to be submitted and then potentially approved subject to council or administrative approval. Okay, again, if you're developing in the future development areas, so those gray areas shown on the phasing map, again, there's no changes unless you want there to be change. The landowner would initiate any types of application, and again, no changes to subdivision rights under the current land use, and development permits can still be applied for. So unless you're looking to do other types of development, like you said, or like I'll get into, low impact development that does not result in road upgrades or servicing requirements, those types of applications can still come in as well. Okay. So as far as the next steps go, we mentioned that there was a couple of call planner sessions back in February that was well received. So we're going to host another session where county staff will be on a call. Let's say you leave this call and you think of a question, you can go to the project website, which I'll ask Kristen to drop into the chat again, and learn how to get involved through that call planner session. It's informal. You can call in, ask your questions in a smaller, more informal environment, and find out a little bit more about what's proposed. In June, we're anticipating first reading of the area structure plan with a public hearing to follow in July. Again, that public hearing is another opportunity for you to get involved. You can come out and tell council what you think of the plan and let them know what you think. Second reading is anticipated in fall of 2022, as is the Edmonton Metropolitan Region Board approvals, which are also required when area structure plans are being developed in the region. With third reading to the area structure plan anticipated in fall 2022.